Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in week 4?
Yeah, something
Week
like
4.
something
Round.
along that lines.
I know it's round 7, so I'm pretty sure it's week
Yeah.
4 because
Oh, it has
each
to be,
week
yeah.
has
Yeah.
2 rounds. So
'Cause
if
then
I'm doing
tomorrow's-
math correctly,
Tomorrow's round 8. So
we're
yeah.
in the first round of week 4.
Of week 4.
Of week 4. Round 7, week 4. It's fine. We know math here
Yeah.
at GCU Esports. But
That's why you get
thank
paid
you
the big
all
bucks.
for tuning in. I'm glad to see you all back. I'm glad to be back. Once again, I am Evan Keller, and I'm here with the wonderful.
Micah, I'm glad to be back too. I can also do math. That's why they pay us the big bucks.
That's why they pay us the absolute big bucks. That's why they put me on scholarship and told me, do better. And so I did, and I figured out math.
Yeah, for the first time.
For the first time. Yeah, I've never done math before in my life.
Watch. What's 1 + 1?
3. Shoot.
He's-
No.
He's getting better.
It's 2. It's 2. It's 2.
He's getting better.
I'm figuring it out.
He's getting better every day.
But
Anyways, yeah, we got Purple Rain for you here tonight. Of course, GCU Esports Valorant women's only tournament series. And as we just said, we're pretty deep into it now. We're moving towards that $5,000 prize pool, of course, powered by Rockstar. We could not do this event in general without them.
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
they gave us $5,000 and said, go make a Valorant tournament. And we said, you got it, dude.
We did. And speaking of the tournament, what's our matchup tonight, Evan?
Matchup tonight is an interesting one. We've
Okay.
got a 5-1 team in the Western Wings versus a 1-5 team in New Mexico State. So I definitely think New Mexico has a chance here, though. Looking at it, I think they do. But in our lineups for the Western Wings, we've got Pookie, Venus, AZN Puppet, Celestia, and Haru. And for NM State, we got Ms. Icy, Playboy Mads, Thwippy, Darlene, and Bewilder.
Nice. Again, very fine-looking teams on both sides. You did mention each of their standings. I mean, we could take a look at the standings in the overall tournament.
Yeah,
I
we
definitely
actually
want to see how each team is shaping up. There we go.
We mentioned this game last week, and I believe that it was actually supposed to be the game we streamed today.
Yes.
But it does not show on these standings, but I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes. Waterloo has been given their first loss by North Texas.
Okay.
So, North Texas
Wow.
now 7-0, Waterloo now 6-1.
Yes.
So, that's a big upset. And in the same
Absolutely.
way, TMU, who was 2-4 as you're looking at, and Cal Luna, who's 1-5, Cal Luna took down TMU
Yes.
in a 2-0. So
Really
that's just kind of a little behind the scenes what's happened so far in round 7. But
Just really showing you folks how this event really keeps that high energy up
yeah,
all the way through. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, we're only a little bit over halfway there. Well, actually, a little more than halfway.
I
there.
think it's like 6. There's 13 rounds, so it's like a line like 6.5.
we're close to the 3/4 mark.
We
is
are
what I would
we
essentially
are
say.
getting it's a 7-week tournament, 7-week tournament, and we're in week 4, so we have passed that halfway threshold.
Yeah.
Playoffs start like halfway through March.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. We're definitely
getting there.
seeing some playoff contention teams starting to shine. Obviously, like I mentioned, North Texas now
Oh,
7-0 after this week, and I mean.
We've seen them play. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we have, and I mean Waterloo still 6-1, obviously
Yeah.
losing to North Texas, but it's not like losing
Yeah.
one game puts them at the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah.
They've still got a solid contention for the playoff spot, and even potentially for a win. They could take this all the way. We could see a North Texas Waterloo playoff grand finals.
We absolutely could. I
But
mean, yeah. See them
It's
match
all,
that back up. Would
it's
be,
it's all
it's
speculation.
all speculation.
It's
of
all
course. Like I
speculation.
said, we're only about halfway.
You know,
through.
Caster Curse. Maybe somehow
maybe they
Waterloo doesn't even
backslide
make
for the
it
next-
into
They
playoffs.
backslide for the next several weeks. Who really knows? Speaking of, I think
It's all wonky.
so we're just waiting for these two teams to match up. We can discuss a few things,
Oh.
such as their stage picks. You know.
Map picks.
Do you happen
Stage
to,
pigs.
Yeah, sorry.
Smashcaster, guys. Smashcaster.
Yeah.
What are we doing over here?
It's funny. I see the opposite all the time, where some Smash players will joke. They'll be like, "How do you play this champ?" Anyways, yeah.
Anyways.
the map picks
The
and
map
bans.
picks. You saw it in.
Yeah.
You may have seen it in the matchup vid. Map 1 is going to be Lotus.
Okay.
We've seen a couple of teams
Very
like to play this
scarcely.
map. There's been some playing of Lotus in this season so far. The Western Wings are going to start on defense. NMSU is going to start on attack.
we have seen a lot of teams go pretty heavy on the offense when they get to start an attack.
Yeah, no,
kind of bury
and
the lead.
that's kind of the detriment of the 3-side map. I've talked about this.
Oh yeah,
thoroughly.
ad nauseum.
Yeah, and I feel like a broken record at this point. 3-site maps are very prominent for a heavy attack. You put 5 players in a fast push onto a site, you're more than likely going to get the site.
It's just a matter of how far your defense is spread thin.
Yeah.
I was like, not even how easy it is on the attacker, but just how difficult it is on the defense.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was North Texas, or it was whoever played last Friday. I do not remember who we streamed last Friday or recorded. They had an amazing Lotus hold, and their defense. They would play 3 players on C site, and then they would play one looking down A long, and then one on A.
Yeah.
But what they would do is then they would have that person looking down long push back to B.
Yeah.
Then they would have 2 players push back to B from the C side.
Yeah.
And then it left 1 on C, 1 on A, and then 3 on B. And it was an amazing hold. I really liked that kind of like movement that those players had going on.
Very dynamic.
So I'm hoping to see that from Western here on starting out on defense. A lot of maybe, and people like to say early rotation. Like an early rotation can be a good thing. An over rotation is a bad thing. You don't want to leave C site unattended, pushing back to B, unless you have full knowledge that it is a fast push on A or B side and all 5 players in it. Because you have to be very careful of flank on Lotus, especially with the spinning doors. You can easily get caught out very early on.
You can really just flip like the dime with the doors.
Oh,
especially.
yeah, and I mean, we've seen that. I think you and I have seen the doors get open and 3 players go down from those doors. So, I mean, you have to be very cautious.
We may still see it happen.
Oh, I think we see. I think we see a lot of kills come through doors tonight.
Yeah.
I have a crazy intuition that Western Wings is gonna love using the doors. They're gonna love pushing tree, and they're gonna love AC to be rotated.
That's what I'm thinking. Right. You can only speculate so much, but again, we are seeing a 5-1 team come up against a 1-5 team.
Yeah.
There's a certain David Goliath story that kind of starts to form there.
Yeah. There's
underdog story is almost an understatement. Again, we have one of the highest seeds in the league versus one of the lowest, and so it's going to be a tough uphill battle. I mean, they can definitely not out of the hill. Yeah, definitely not out of the question if they can push up that hill, but it's yet to be seen.
Yeah, there's a saying in one of the other leagues that I participate in as a player, and it's Core Strike doesn't lie. Core Strike being a third-party service that tells you ranks of players.
Yeah,
and that's Core Strike doesn't lie, and maybe in this Tracker.gg doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Battle5 standings don't lie.
Yeah,
but we've seen we've seen upsets come through. We've seen some teams take maps on better teams. We've seen some teams win against quote unquote better teams, right?
Yeah.
So we might see a couple. I'm just looking for NMSU to like just get some rounds in.
Yeah.
Make Western Wing make some mistakes. Make them feel cautious and make them play more to your play style rather than being forced to play Western Wing's play style.
Yeah, because the more mistakes you really etch out of them, the easier it'll be to kind of push that lead and maybe take something back for yourself. I think we are going to cut to a brief... No? Oh. I mean... Yeah,
we still got maps to talk about.
Oh,
let me go through.
Sorry,
let me go through the next 2 maps.
Somebody's game is updating, so I was like, well, we might as well...
Let me go through Elise map 2, and then if we're feeling
we only said map 1.
Yeah, we've been talking about Lotus. We've been yapping it up.
Got so much left to cover.
But map 2 is Split. I like Split. I think I mentioned this stream 1, but I haven't mentioned it again. Split is considered to be the 9-3 curse map. It's the curse map.
Yeah.
9-3
split.
9-3 split. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
The 9-3 curse is very prominent on Split. It loves to be pushed through. If you get put on a 9-3, for some reason on Split in particular, it is more common to bring that back. So if NMSU is that's right.
NMSU.
It's I say it too fast, and I think I'm like saying like Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem.
Yeah. But if they do go down 9-3 in that map 2, they may be looking to bring that back on the curse and take it to map 3. If they that's if they lose map 1, they could take both. You know, we never know. But that's gonna be map 2.
Yeah, what's up for game 3?
Oh, I read this pick ban draft like a monster, and they third band bind, and map 3 is going to be going to Ascent.
I was just thinking, I was like, interesting. So far, not an Ascent pick. You know, we usually
right?
see that game 1.
Nope, it's there.
And I was like,
Don't
there
worry,
it is.
Don't
okay,
worry, it's
just in case All Reliable comes up to lead up the back.
The 25th pick on Ascent in 7 rounds.
Yes.
So
I'm glad you're tracking.
What is that? In 7 rounds, 24. It's like 3.5 picks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, 3 games per round have had an Ascent pick.
Yeah,
which is insane.
That's almost low.
It is. I mean, it does seem low. There's 7 games per round. Only 3 of them. But that's the thing. 3 of them are going to Ascent.
Right.
Right. 3 of those games have been played on Ascent per round. So they could have been picked in every single matchup, but the 2-0 comes through, and they don't go to that map 3.
That's a good point. Because, we usually have seen it in game 1 or 2, and now it's a game 3, a bit of a safety net.
No, I do. Yeah, no, I definitely like the Ascent map 3. Obviously, it's a comfort pick for some teams.
Yeah.
Most teams like practicing on Ascent because it's so bare bones. There's not a lot of confusion that comes through with it. So it is that kind of backup where if the map that you have more comfortability on the gimmick of that map fails, you can always go back to comfort and just try and outwin them with gun skill.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on one player. Valorant had an update recently. Chamber getting buffed.
Oh.
I believe Headhunter, which is his sheriff, got a price drop from 150 credits to 100 credits. So that actually means start at round 1, you can buy his entire Headhunter. That's but that's all you can buy.
Oh,
so it's basically buying sheriff.
Yes.
And and actually thinking about this on Lotus, actually it wouldn't be too crazy round 1 because sheriff does 145 to the head minimum. Like that's the lowest that it can do to the head. But you can only buy 125 total health in round 1.
Yeah.
So Chamber, the reason Headhunter is so powerful is it does 159 to the head at all ranges. So it's basically people like to call it the Pocket Guardian. The Guardian is basically the Vandal, but one single shot.
Yeah.
So people like to call it the Pocket Guardian, as it is perfectly accurate when scoped in, and I believe it's like almost perfectly accurate while scoped out.
Yeah.
So people like to buy that early. Okay. So yeah, that price getting dropped means you can buy more bullets early round. I mean, you could buy 4 Headhunter shots and still get that 25 shield. And from what it's looking like, especially in Purple Rain in particular, that first round sheriff hasn't been coming through as much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that chamber, and I doubt the chamber comes through on any 3 of these maps. I'll be 100% honest.
Oh, looks like we're going to draft.
But I could be wrong. Maybe the chamber buff does make it see some play in here. I highly doubt it. Yeah, as we see, the KJs are on the Sentinels instead.
Yeah, I mean, that's been another be a fun stat to track how often KJ is on pretty much every game.
I think she's been picked like 81 times.
Yeah, something like that.
She's she's easily top tier Sentinel.
Yeah.
Contested
absolutely.
only by Cypher.
Yeah.
But even then, it's very map dependent for Cypher to be usable.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's like 2 maps that Cypher is considered to be better on. It's like Breeze and like Split is really the only 2 maps where
so
Cypher
we could see in map 2, but otherwise those 2 maps haven't really appeared as much as, say, Lotus and most certainly Ascent.
Yeah, Ascent, if we do end up making it to a map 3 Ascent, KJ is almost a guarantee. However, pro play, VCT kickoff has been going on right now, and Cypher has been seeing some play on Ascent.
Also,
so that meta comp is actually curious.
So Celestia.
Celestia on the Gecko.
So we have seen a bit of Gecko plays come here and there.
Yeah, ASU has been very prominent on that Gecko pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like because he's a little bit of an off-meta character, he definitely has popped up in interesting ways, I would say. Very intriguing. And honestly, usually, like you said, shaking the game for better or worse.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a 6th player, is what I like to say. Same thing,
exactly. Especially for planting.
Yeah, and with Killjoy, it's almost like you have a 7th player because you've got Bot giving you doing very minimal damage,
but still,
giving you eyes on the enemy players without the risk of you dying to that enemy player. And Wingman doing the same thing, planting for you while you just get free ability to hold sight.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's like bot is not there just to do damage. It's like you're having it roll around the corner so that you can essentially flirt with danger a little bit without actually having to die.
Yeah, I like. So we got a pretty close mirror comp. Raze, Sky, Omen coming through on, and KJ coming through on both teams, and the Fade getting swapped out for the Gecko. Not a terrible swap. Obviously, Western Wings may be looking for a little bit more oppressive comp on the offensive side, trying to get the plant down a little bit quicker. While NMSU is looking for a little more sight lines, making sure that they know where all the players are.
I mean, it might be a little bit rough because they are starting on the defense, but I guess it just goes to show how confident they are going into this matchup, Evan.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of confidence, they are already off to the races. They're really just flicking every corner.
Comes through. Just barely
a lot of those shots.
Missing. Whippy finally getting the trade onto Celestia, but Haru is pushing through the smoke.
Yeah.
It's going to be round 1.
Yeah, it was like, that was a pretty lightning fast round for the Western Wings. Like we said, going in pretty oppressive there without really waiting a moment's notice.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes you could tell, again, I think it comes with that confidence and with their standing. Where you can kind of just tell if the other team might be a little bit finicky on just picking where they're trying to move and rotating a little slow. So sometimes we'll see the offense just, or the defense actually, just dive in. They're just like, okay, well, I'm tired of waiting. And we saw that Western Wings is maybe a little bit more impatient than most. Plus, they also had just pretty good coverage over the B site as well.
Well, yeah, and I mean, what's tough is the ceiling smoke wasn't the greatest, so it kind of allowed Celestia to jump on the box and get a couple of free kills there, and then that just allowed Haru to push through the smoke with full confidence.
Yeah.
So it's really just going to be a matter of, are the smokes doing what they are intended to do? Haru finding one from that link side. It's 2 players to back her up, taking a little bit of damage. The blind comes through. Venus getting 1.
Very strong trade. Blinded for just a second. Are you going to be able to peek this corner? Nice crouch, but it's not enough. The defenders are going to take the round.
Yes, the good old Spectre run and gun. It got nerfed, but is still an amazing round 2 weapon.
I mean, yeah, we were talking about how a lot of times the offense goes up on a bit of a lead, and that can really build up more and more. But honestly, I think it's even bodes worse if the defense starts to bury a little bit. But in typical Valorant fashion, this is likely we're going to see NMSU take a round or 2 here. Now that they're going to be working on a bit of a better econ.
Yeah, but in the same way, this could be where Western Wings potentially solidifies
runs away with
their case for this, right? Yeah. They get this round. They've got round 3 and round 4 in the bag. Yeah. Oh, a great blind coming through. They don't see Venus going up top on Rubble, and that is going to be 2 down. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, just Western Wings playing this amazingly. They've pushed aggressively onto the side of NMSU. And just forces them back into a corner that they're not comfortable in. They've got to play the close corners now. A is the longest site on this map, which is perfect. And
I was about to warn you, about to get a pretty strong pizzer from Asian Puppet there. Wow, taking
finds a
2v1.
Third. Or second, surprisingly enough. And now they've got Vandals and guns in hand. And now
I mean, that is the round over. You are completely swarmed by every member on the team. Oh, almost taking one with you.
Not quite.
Not quite. Banging some nice damage out there, but the pick is what mattered, and it did not come.
That's a flawless round 3.
Yeah. That is, like I said, this is where you start to see them run away with it, show why they are nearly undefeated.
Haru was the only one that didn't pick up a gun from that round because I believe it was Mads at the end there didn't have a gun in their hand, right?
Yeah.
But now they're so far up in econ, Venus just buys her one.
Plus, I mean another thing, just like 3 consecutive rounds without a win. That's 15 deaths on your side. Western Wings, only 3 overall. They are absolutely holding those numbers every single round.
And now Gecko has ultimate ready.
Yeah.
Very powerful ultimate, especially on this map. You kind of just clear sight as much as possible. You take C. Or actually, they're on defense. So now it's just for retake. They basically get 1, maybe 2 free kills on the retake. going wherever they need to go. But to this degree, they haven't even needed it yet.
Yeah,
they haven't needed the heavy util uses to take sight back. They've just been doing it with pure gun skill.
Yeah, I do like that now that they played this round a little bit slower, kind of just let NMSU kind of writhe and how uncomfortable they probably feel right now that they've lost the round 3. And round 4 is probably going to be looking just as rough as, again, those smokes I don't think are covering as much as they want.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Almost
Nice.
finding one. Hadu on 40 HP. Kalesia finding the second on Thwippy. And now it's just going to be... Oh, but what a great headshot.
Wow, yeah. The spike is ticking down more and more.
Western blinded off her teammates.
Oh, but yeah, that defuse is pretty much on lock. Yep. Just when you think that they're about to snatch that up there, Western Wings locks in, takes it over.
Yeah, it's tough. They're playing... That's a tough read from NMSU there. Maybe not pushing back into main being the best idea. You're down a couple players and you have lighter weaponry. You're better off trying to push into them, playing your util, playing your flashes more aggressively, trying to get guns into your hands early on. But now we see the first full gunfight come through. But this could mean that Western Wings is just going to solidify their way here 5-0. But NMSU wants this fast push. And Puppet finds one and is just going to back off. Beautiful play from Puppet there.
They got a really nice headbang there, I believe.
It was a headshot. It was actually a little bit of a flick there, too. Kind of pretty.
Again, yeah, when they're taking these picks, they're looking pretty nice with it.
Oh,
it's
Flippy.
just, yep.
Gonna find a kill onto Puppet. The site is clear, but they don't know it. Kalesia's gonna be in that back site, gonna be smoked off, and I think NMSU is gonna get a plant down on this C site. Now they just have to play the hold. It's a 4v4. Venus finds one onto Bewilder on the flank.
Yeah, now a 4v3 going into immediately when that spike's planted is not what you really want to see.
Gecko Haru is behind, blinded, but gets the kill.
You had a point, Evan. It really is this gunplay difference so far. Oh, nice trade, but it's again just shut down.
Yeah.
It is just so far a gunplay difference.
I mean, there we saw Gecko get popped, but it didn't matter because they're pushed so far up that Haru is just able to walk through Waterfall and get a free kill.
Yeah.
The Gecko didn't make a difference like I had previously imagined that it was going to be. And that's just showing Western Wings has been playing phenomenally. They don't need the ultimates to make this game winnable. They've got the gun skill, they've got the normal utility uses that only cost them credits and not kills or orbs to get.
Shoutouts to Pookie. Hasn't died yet.
Let's go, Pookie.
1 kill.
5 assists.
I say, but 5 assists. It's like
sometimes an assist is just as good as a kill.
It's like it's great to hold down the fort.
Western Wings, even up, they're playing cautious, and I love that from them. They're not risking anything. Nice little Boombot fight there. I think that's a funny little interaction. The Boombot will fight Boombot.
Yeah.
But curiously enough, it will not go up against KJ Turret. Oh, Thwippy, a great kill on Haru. Venus finding a trade on the Mads.
Again, we've seen Thwippy pull up a pretty good few gunplays right now.
Is Thwippy going to be able to find a player here? Venus does not. Oh, and that's just going to be it. I mean,
wow.
Amazing retakes. Amazing. I mean, that's not even a retake. That's a sight hold.
Yeah.
They locked that down.
That's been most of these rounds, Evan. It's just they are in the right place at the right time. They know where NMSU wants to run, and they are able to just win a lot of those interactions.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing there, Thwippy pulls ultimate and satchels, but not clearing enough space with her satchel, not getting that momentum to be able to clear around corner and clear the back of a site. Instead opts to ult down into drop, but not clearing anything, and then gets taken out from the 2 players that are in the back site. Thwippy gets an early kill onto Kalesia.
Again.
I mean, they're getting these singular kills amazingly.
Yeah, Thwippy definitely holding down the fort a lot here.
Oh, that is a tough peek out from Haru there onto Thwippy. Darlene now has space. She's going to have to wait out. and hope that they can find a player. And instead, the Western Wings team. And yeah, and now Spike has to go down.
Picked a pretty good spot given where they had the information on where Western Wings was holding. But I think we're going to see a pretty strong flick here. Yep.
Not able to find one. Puppet finds two, and Haru finds a third. Now it's all up to Darlene in this back site. Bomb is not planted, and there she goes.
More than enough time to defuse.
Yeah, easily. 20.
That's really just again a thing I'm noticing. Again, not to reiterate like a broken record, but outside of Thwippy, we're just really not seeing a lot of picks picked up by Turquoise. I mean, you can look at the KDAs right now.
We're gonna get a TP a timeout coming in from NMSU here, down 7-0.
Yeah,
it's tough. Realistically, what I'm seeing so far, a lot of angles being missed. They're not clearing. We saw 2 players there. I believe it was Thwippy and Ms. Icy were on site there. Both of them started. They know that there is 2, maybe 3 players in that A-Link side, but both of them start pushing towards the B-C link without continuing keeping their eyes on that A-Link, especially with Darlene in Heaven. They don't need to worry about Heaven right now. They got to worry about where they know these players are at in that A-Link, and both of them kind of opt to start swinging left without continuing to watch that. And you see a couple of kills come through. I liked the push to the B-C link side, but I feel like one player needed to keep their eyes, keep the site presence, and keep that hold on after the bomb is planted.
That's the thing, even when they do just come straight face-to-face for a gunfight, we are just seeing a lot of NMSU members getting gunned down because they will kind of shoot and then, like you said, flick their gun to the side, miss clear, while Western Wings will just hit, pretty much just home in and then flick up to the head, and then it's 2 shots are done.
Pookie still hasn't died.
Yeah, again, holding down the fort.
3 and 8.
Thwippy absolutely showing to be the MVP of NMSU so far, at least as far as picks are concerned.
Haru.
And just as I speak, Haru eliminates them through smoke.
And I mean, that's just fantastic game sense. Finding the angle that the boombot came at, and then just spraying directly in line with that. But Wilder finds one, but going to get traded out, and that is going to be a KJ duel to the side of.
I caught onto that too, where it's like you just see that rolling out. It's like not only knowing that they're there, but exactly where. Oh, there we go. Playboy Man's
comes through, finds a third, finds a fourth.
Wow!
Oh my goodness, fantastic.
Nearly an ace.
Lining up the shot, and now Puppet is 11-1. Oh no, we lost Pookie.
No.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I was about to call. 07. I was about to call out Puppet as like, oh yeah, she's definitely pulling up as an MP for her team too. But I mean, like, if you look at each of her team members just below her, they're all pretty.
They're
in
really
line.
close, yeah.
They're all pretty in line. And I mean, you see that pan out in the game as well. Haru also getting a lot of really good picks. Venus and Kalesia as well, and Pookie holding up the fort. 8 assists.
Yeah, 8 assists. Nothing to stop at. May not have the kills, but is helping get those kills.
Yeah.
Okay. Western Wings has the intel that there is at least one player on this A side.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're actually going to push up Pookie. And, oh, great shots coming through. Not quite going to find anything. They're going to break Lotus, give him an escape point. Thwippy's just going to hold this down. The Boombot's there. They know.
Yeah, taking that shot there is going to really hurt Thwippy's capacity to match up against anyone now. Because we're already seeing them not winning these trades. All right, here comes Dog.
Gonna clear rubble. Now they've got full knowledge that there's nobody in sight, so they can kind of start working, maybe clearing rubble here a little bit. And and now Pookie's gonna full rotate onto this B-Link C side.
Yeah, so like in the early rounds where you might.
Playboy Mads actually opts to stay. Yeah, that's just gonna be a tough kill.
And I believe that is the spike down also. Nope. Turquoise
wasn't quite
has it.
Spike.
Turquoise has
it. It wasn't that bad of an idea.
Yeah.
Probably going to get a second? Yes, a second on the round. Venus going to find a third through the door, and that's what I was talking about with the doors going down.
I love your call. I love your
down.
Yep, there goes the doors. Okay, this could be your benefit to your yeah, well, there it goes. Flawless round. No, sorry, I liked your call out where it was like, this wasn't that bad of an idea. I'm like, the idea had redeemable qualities, is what we say.
I did like the idea. I think the only thing that could have been executed better there was the team needs to push off of that.
Yeah.
Off of that.
You cannot, you cannot abandon your teammate there.
Yeah, well, and it's not so much that. Mads gets onto site off of a TP, knows that the general area of site is clear, meaning that if she's not seeing anybody, there is more than likely only one player on this site.
Yeah.
That means that her team needs to swing into that site fast and take out the maybe one player that is on there.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, they were actually pretty much a ways away at the time. So
they were sitting in Mound.
Really?
They were in Mound.
Yeah.
When Mads TP'd there. So they could have taken that fight.
Yeah.
Thwippy finds one, but Puppet finds two through the door.
3
through the door. Darlene gets the trade. Celestia gets Thwippy. I called it.
Yeah.
It's a door game.
Yeah.
Western Wings loving the doors on this map.
Truly not what you want to see so close to a halftime.
Absolutely not. 10-0 is tough. We've seen this happen before where a team may find one round at the end, but that is going to be one round too late, as now you have to then figure out how this team is playing on a completely different side.
Because, again, offense is going to be tough here, too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Puppet is 16-2, man. That's just. There's not much you can say about that, right?
We just spent so much preamble saying like how many options the offense gets here and how difficult it is for defense. And we've seen how well Western Wings holds up on defense. So now NMSU having to get thrown into that, where Western Wings has their options completely opened up. Celestia already taking a pick. It's just going to be really brutal.
Early. I liked the swing, but it was a slow swing, and it was not quite. Although it misses, but Bewilder is not able to find the headshot onto Venus. Darlene may get caught. Puppet finds Ms. Icy on B. Darlene gets one kill, but is going to get traded, and that's going to be round 11. We could definitely be looking at a 12-0, maybe 13-0 map here.
Again, because once you move that round swap, I think Western Wings is just going to go.
They're going to go ham.
They're going to go in.
They're going to go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can already tell. Venus 14-3 on defense. I cannot imagine the double satchels that are going to be coming through on this offensive side. And it's just, it's a tough matchup for NMSU. Obviously, Western Wings 5-1 right now.
Nearly undefeated, only behind I think 2 teams at the moment.
Three.
Well, yeah.
They're tied. They're basically tied for second.
Yes.
In terms of it, and the only loss they have is to UCSD, who is undefeated right now. So it's a tough matchup.
100% in playoff contention.
Flippy maybe knows that there's one player in that corner, but is not going to be able to find the kill. NMSU has a good hold here. Now, the tough thing is they're trying to back off site, and the
number one thing you do not want to do right now.
Oh, Puppet's going to find one on a Bill Wilder as the lockdown goes down. And this KJ is so tough because it forces the players so far off of site. Booby is actually going to be able to find one. Darlene finds a second. Puppet finds 2.
And they're all wiped out.
Down. And that's what I'm talking about. That was a beautiful KJ ultimate from I can't think who's playing KJ right now. Why can't I think who's playing KJ?
Twippy?
Puppet,
right.
Because
sorry, I was thinking
sorry.
Thinking Riz, sorry.
It was a beautiful KJ ult from Puppet there, putting it in waterfall because it not only forces, and NMSU was already kind of fading towards the mound side of site rather than going CT. So it forces that entire team to push back basically to CT spawn or to T spawn. And that just allows Western Wings to get free kills from door because they're kind of getting pushed in that area. And then it actually just allowed Haru to just stick to the defuse because there's no way to contest it. Right?
Yeah, beautiful play by Puppet. Nothing to be too surprised about from a player who's 20-2-1 right now. 10
KD.
Yeah.
Darlene gets a little info, does not get tagged. That is going to be big. Oh, Celestia getting an early kill onto Thwippy. 2 more of NMSU's players are sitting in Lotus door.
I saw KLSD's early kill. I was about to say, oh, that could be huge for NMSU. Oh, like, wait, they
wrong
swapped.
team.
Uh-oh. Could be huge for
This
Western
Wings. Going
Wings.
to go into Lotus, and it is just going to be a free site to Western. Apologies, I almost said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, smokes are going down, and now
It's exactly like we said. It is just so hard to defend all 3 sides at once when you're this spread thin, especially when you're down a player.
Yeah, Bewilder is still on the C side, finally rotating over. Mads gets taken out from the flank.
Yeah.
One more player in Lotus, not able to find a kill, is going to get taken out. Now down to a 2v5 in the final round in the potential final round of this Lotus matchup.
All right. Nice shot.
Into a
from Venus.
1v5, and this is going to be a tough find for Bewilder to maybe bring this back.
And there's that flawless round.
Celestia's second kill headshot, 13-0.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate because you saw that 3 or 4 members of Western Wings were pretty low health, but again, it is a tough sell for a 5v1.
It's still a 5v1.
Yes,
right?
it is a tough
You can talk health while 5v1's a 5v1.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Especially going up to a team that was showing such dominance like Western Wings.
Yeah. 13-0. I do not know if we've seen that kind of performance
not on stream.
so far. Definitely not that I've
definitely not on stream. I
stream
think
for.
we've seen maybe a 13-3, a 13-4. We have not seen a flawless game so far in this Purple Rain stream series.
And next game we are moving to Split, which again is known for being one of the more volatile maps, but I don't imagine that we are going to see the hugest change up here in momentum. It would be again, like I said, it'd be a tough sell.
Yeah, as much as it hurts to say, Western Wings is showing their dominance.
Yeah.
And while we wait for this map 2 to get set up, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Valorant.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody.
We are back with Purple Rain, the Valorant series. We just saw one of the most oppressive matches we have seen really all series on this
Yeah, I
stream.
mean, yeah.
13-0.
It was tough. Western just had
13-0, starting defense on what I would argue is one of the most offense favored maps. In the game.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
If not the.
I mean, a 3-sided map
Yeah.
is always going to be super attacker-sided.
And then with the rotating doors,
yeah, and
it allows you to just pop up and then leave.
My intuition was correct, though. I will say I was calling that Western was going to be playing the doors very heavily, and they did. They did. They played it heavily, and they played it perfectly from the defensive side. Yeah, but map 2 split. We're gonna go right into it. I think these teams are ready to go. Western is
there it is.
To get this match maybe over as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Couldn't have been more than 25 minutes last game.
Yeah, 25, 30-minute game. Very short in terms of Valorant. No, and for being, it's tough because I don't want to like.
Oh yeah, I know. Like I said, it is not impossible that we see a bit of a different story on Split. Definitely known for being a volatile map.
Yeah,
more
I
than
believe
anything.
This was NMSU's pick. Split was, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that they actually opted in for the Split map. So maybe they know a little. Maybe they know how to play Split a little bit better. Maybe Lotus was just Western Wings map. Maybe they had that lockdown defense and they knew what they were doing.
They are starting on defense, which could be troubling, but I mean it does give a better opportunity for a 9-3 split.
It does. It does.
So like you said, you never really know how you're going to see things turn around on this map. This is definitely a good wild card to try and get yourself back in the game. What do you think about the team comp so far?
I'm intrigued by the deadlock. I've seen it be played, and it's actually okay. I was going to swap Cypher. I wouldn't have hated the deadlock pick on this map. B main as well as A main are both very easy spots to throw deadlock wall, and it just completely stop all momentum.
Yeah.
It can actually cut teams off from each other because it's 4 walls instead of just one. But actually going to go Cypher instead. Maybe has some one-way lineups. I like the one-ways on Split from Cypher. And I think we're seeing... Yeah, so NM is sticking with the same comp that they had in the previous game. Sitting on their comfort picks here as we go into Split. What are you thinking? You think we see another...
Again, like I said, it is a bit of what I like to call a tough sell to see this going much differently than last time. I will say we did have Puppet on a very dominant KJ last time, and now there's no KJ on that team comp. Whereas, like you said, a lot of NMSU remains on their comfort picks. So
I'll be honest. I don't think that KJ was the reason that Puppet was doing so well.
Yeah.
Not a lot of times were they playing off of their util. They were just playing better.
Yeah.
So I think Puppet definitely could still have an absolutely dominant showing on this Cypher pick.
I would say, yeah, Cypher maybe even more so, because we did iterate quite a few times. A lot of it was just outplay in guns and stronger positioning. Really, again, just the meat and potatoes of Valorant.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we are moving. Okay, making a bit of a noise, but it looks like we are just going to be starting, at least bluffing an A push. I wouldn't be surprised if we just go right into it. Yep, we are off to the races.
There's a little bit of damage from their own nade. He's going to walk down to elbow. They know sight is clear. The 2 default spots getting nano-swarmed off, but Western is just going to plant in the open and not care whether or not their default sites are blocked off.
Yeah, and we are absolutely seeing them move with the kind of confidence you expect from a team.
Well, they're going to get a wall bang. Dwibby going to find one. Western, and now in a 5v1 or a 3v2, now down to a 2v2, and Western bringing this back instantaneously. Haru's on 1 HP. Oh, he's gonna get stunned. Oh, but they're not gonna. They don't know she's in this corner. She's not gonna get swung, and has a fantastic rotate.
Off, yeah.
Oh my!
Oh,
what a
wow!
From Haru.
Haru turning, actually the Western Wings in general, turning that completely on the dime. We saw that happen a couple times last time, but never so strongly as this first round one, where they were down in the dumps, completely reverse it back to an even game. And like you said, Haru, even though at 1 HP, really dangerous, potentially going to lose the round for her team.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a
Turquoise backed it off, and she was able to win it by just swinging around.
That's just a tough read from NMSU right there.
Yeah.
Haru got stunned by Celestia's Shockwave.
But they didn't push in
But
after
they didn't push in that direction, and that just allowed Haru to weigh out the stun and then push back to the pillar side and get that kill.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Haru there, I would have been quivering. Where I'm like, okay, I'm at 1 HP. I can't see anything. But no one pushed in, and now we are seeing Western Wings, again, move in pretty quickly to this A site. Just making the same play as before. Probably going to clean up the rack this time, see if they can actually go a little bit more oppressive through these hallways. And they can! All right, 2 down from Kaelestia. 2 more down from Kaelestia.
Oh,
not quite
gonna
the
let
ace.
it get the ace.
Come on. Flawless round,
teammate,
though.
bad teammate.
Boo.
Nah, it's a lot. In tournaments like this,
you kind
of just play.
You got to take what you
just
can
play.
get. Yeah, you just play.
And I mean, Puppet not doing a whole lot, but like it's Kaelestia's game this time. 5-0, Haru 4-0 in just 2 rounds. I mean,
it's exactly what I referenced before. It's like I would hesitate to say, oh, Kaelestia is the MVP there because it's like Haru is right up behind her, and the other 3 teammates are definitely holding down the fort just as well. Probably going to build up more and more momentum as this game carries on. All right.
Man, it's just looking like Western Wings is just playing fast A. I do like this hold though. They're waiting out the guns, trying to maybe force Turquoise to push up into the shorter angles where Western Wings actually has the advantage.
Yeah, we could see that NMSU was strongly anticipating another A push, but didn't want to go in on it too hard, and they backed off. And as soon as they did, Western Wings was able to feel that out and just go right back for it. Oh, taking a little bangs
and
through the smoke.
Bewilder's going to find one, and Playboy Mads is going to find a second. Western Wings is down a player. Kaelestia going to get the trade. Oh, not quite in time off of that swing. Gets killed.
Okay, a little sloppy, but almost
got the bot in hand. There. Oh, the ping comes through. Oh, the stun, though. Pookie gets the kill. Darlene finds one. Haru finds one. We're back to a 2v2, and Western is just keeping this pace. Pookie finds a second. Now it's down to a 1v2 with Mizaisi on 4 HP.
Yeah, and I really just don't see how they are absolutely going to find the... Yeah, I'd see no way where they find the time for that defuse. As I said before, like, very volatile map. We are seeing these rounds run way, way closer than they ever did in the last game, where essentially Turquoise is getting wiped out round after round. Here they are pretty much seeing a 2v2 turn into a 2v1, turn into a victory for Western
but I mean,
Wings.
Western is
pretty much every I would say turn into a win for Western Wings every single round. Yeah.
Western NMSU has been up in the retake both these last 2 rounds and have ended up by not being able to find those last 2 kills and then losing the round off of them. Yeah, I mean Western is prominence.
Yeah, as I had referenced before, if Western Wings takes this 4th round, again, I would feel more comfortable in saying that we are going to see a very similar game.
Yes.
To round 1. All right, B Welder. A very good job of holding down this lane.
Smoke's going to come through. A comes through. Plus he's going to take a little bit of damage. Puppet finds... Oh, that was actually in heaven. Puppet finds that kill. Haru finds one through the smoke. Puppet finds a second on Mads, finds a third onto Darlene.
With only 15 health, holding on. Spike is planted, and that's going to be a flawless round, because again, I don't really see that 1v5 going your way. Kaelestia, we saw take quite a lot of damage early in that round. Of course, picking up a heal later on. But it's funny, she kind of just sprayed and prayed through the smoke. She was like, someone's there. And sometimes praying's all you need.
Yep. Haru now is in the undefeated KD right now, 6-0.
Yeah.
And this Western Wings team is looking absolutely phenomenal tonight. I don't know if they scrimmed before this or what, but they're looking like they're raring to go from the get up.
So they are looking warm. That's the other thing. I don't think any attempt to ice them out with the timeout's going to have much of an effect.
No, but I do like this hold from Thwippy. Finally, a actual hold on site, not allowing these players to just take it for free and then having to play a retake. But as we've seen, Kaelestia has been blinding into that site so far.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that Western Wings' game plan pretty much seems to be, okay, we're going to run into site, and we're going to keep running into site until you can show us you can stuff us out. And NMSU has not really caught on. And like they're not like.
Oh, and there it is.
There
the
it
first kill comes through, but actually going to get traded. Darlene finds one on Pillar.
Yeah.
And actually going to get a second without dying.
Exactly the kind of counterplay you needed to do, especially because the spike
And Playboy
is now
Mads
down.
finds one, and now we're just down to a 1v4.
The spike is down. I mean, we did see Western Wings turn away a pretty strong lead like this before. All right. Hold on. Hold. Puppet finds two.
Second. Going to ult to find the other two players. They're going to find that they're both on site. 70 HP, just 2 shots to a Vandal.
38
Both
seconds.
of these players have Vandals in their hands.
30 seconds on the clock, certain of their location.
Is going to get blinded.
But
these players are not swinging. I love this play from NMSU. They just need the round. Finds the third. It is down to a 1v1. 37 HP.
Rotating around.
One tap to the Vandal. 14 seconds left on the clock. Does not know where this last player is. And is not able to find it. NMSU is going to take their first round of this matchup.
Almost an insane clutch play from Puppet there. On the edge of my seat, Evan.
Oh, I was ready for it.
Yeah.
I was ready.
The pop-off was going to be insane.
Even if it was their 5th round and this Western Wings team is looking dominant, a 1v4 is a tough position to be in.
Yeah.
Even for Puppet.
It's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory, I'll say, for NMSU that round, where it's like you take that round, but you realize how close one member of Western Wings was almost to grab it.
That was their bye. Now they're back on Econ.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they lost so many players there, they're forced back onto a save, almost a full save in round 6.
All right, we are now moving in. Now to the B side. Like I said, they were pretty much saying.
The ult comes through. Thwippy, I don't think it's found in the cubby. Venus gonna find one on the Bewilder. Celestia finding one. Thwippy with a classic actually. He's able to get Celestia.
Absolute bloodbath this early in the match. Again, Western Wings was pretty much saying, hey, we're going to do A until you show us we have to do B. Now they're doing B.
Yep.
And it's going about as well as their early A pushes were.
Yep.
So here we go. Only 2 members of NMSU, sorry. I think I've said that a few times. Whereas
Venus
Western
is
Wings.
sitting on this rope waiting for the unsuspecting players to go and try and get out of heaven. Both. They don't peek it, and actually is able to find both. And that's what I was talking about in game 1. These players, even with lighter weaponry, gotta clear those corners.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it cost them a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout this game, not only that round, but just round after round, where again they will just walk past, and because they did not turn, again like we saw with the blind play last game even.
Yeah.
So we might see it continue to cost them if they don't start to implement that counterplay.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like these players are going. I'm not quite sure. They're not on the same econ anymore. Miz buying a Spectre and Bewilder buying a Sheriff. It's going to put NMSU on different economies as the other 3 players are at 500 while those 2 are at the 1700 credit mark. So it's going to be interesting going forward. If they do end up losing or even winning rounds, it's going to be tough for them to be buying on the same economy.
We're taking a pretty hefty bit of damage, but taking out Thwippy, who I have seen is one of
Oh, it does get blinded and not quite getting that kill.
Yeah. We have seen that Thwippy is one of the best shooters NMSU has, so it's going to be tough to see them go down so early in the round. The spike is now planted. Clock is ticking for NMSU to get on that site, but honestly, they are going to have to rotate pretty slow if they do not want to get wiped out again.
Haru doesn't even want the heal. 30 HP, Puppet finds Mads. Miz finds the kill finally onto Celestia.
Yeah, Haru swinging over even with so little HP. I think trying to bait her.
Still not getting a heal. I don't think that Pookie actually has heal in this round.
All right, again, we're seeing 3v2. Like I said, a much more
finally,
volatile round, but the spike it's ticking away.
Yep, and that is
there
going
it
to
is.
be
That's
the
the
timer.
round. Yeah, I was
that
like,
is
there it
the
is.
7-second marker. All these players are going to have to leave or risk dying. Pookie finds Bewilder on the exit. 6-1.
Yeah, and the members of Western Wings managed to find their way out despite, again, these rounds getting a little more volatile, a little closer. We've seen NMSU take 1 round. Can they take 2 in time for Western Wings to make it up to 9? Well, 3. Well, I meant 2 more rounds. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Or it's round
Look
7.
at this
They've
econ.
got 5 rounds to get 2 more.
Yeah.
And in 7, they found 1.
Yes.
So if I'm doing my math correctly, which we know
Which
I'm
we
not
know
great
you're-
at.
Well, no, you're getting better
which
every
I'm
day.
getting better at.
You're
It is going to be difficult for them to find a second and a third round
Yeah.
before this game makes it to half.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're gonna find.
Yeah, I was like,
Bewilder.
that does not bode well.
Escape the stun, but does not escape the rocket launcher, and then Puppet on the flank from mid.
Yep.
This Western team is absolutely phenomenal. Miz, great headshot on the Puppet with the with the Sheriff.
Bringing it to a 4v3. This is doable.
Oh, and the Fade Dog didn't find Venus. This could be terrible for these players. Clears it, does not find it. Oh my
Again, just
goodness.
not fully checking that corner.
Yeah,
Or angle, I should say.
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, they probably were not expecting coming straight from
But
below
yeah,
them.
I mean, Miz just
Yeah.
not finding the third shot before Venus is able to get those kills off. And
Yeah.
NMSU is going to take their first time out of the half.
Yeah, again, it's
we're-
looking rough again. One round is 100% more than last game. So it is looking up for NMSU, but Western Wings is absolutely
Is it
still running
technically,
with
though?
it.
Because 100% more than 0 is still 0, right? Is that how math works?
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. I
Yeah,
wouldn't know.
it's-
We'll just go with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
assessment. We'll just
exactly.
assume it's one more round. Let's
we-
just make it simple.
We really got the brain trust behind the mics here at GCU, folks. We are now in a timeout, of course, called by NMSU.
Yep.
And again, they're doing the
They're
usual.
just. I think right
just
now they're
strategy.
thinking back. What did we do
to
in
take that
round
one
6
round, yeah.
to win that round?
Yeah.
Can we do it again?
And
Because-
hopefully, and we know what they did, and hopefully
They
they find this. It was, again, holding that
They
site
held
early.
site
Yeah.
early. And maybe it's just because it's on B side now. They got to figure out how to play B a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because on A, they figured out A, but now they have to figure out a whole new site on how
Yeah.
how to contest.
I'd
But
said before, but I think it's just because Western Wings shows that they do not have any intention of changing their ways until they
Nope.
lose a round on that site, and then they'll move back. Whereas NMSU is still operating in the early game as if they are going to be switching back and forth. And obviously you don't want to overcommit to what you think Western Wings is going to play, but you at least have to anticipate.
Give me a mid push. I have a feeling this is going to be an A side. Puppet pushing up, but Bomb is down sewer, so I'm not quite sure where this end is going to be at. Kalesia finds one on to Thwippy, who's sitting on pillar. It does look okay. It is going to be an ending A side.
Yes.
Haru is up into ropes here, and now Puppet is going to rotate through as well. Miz finds
Nice.
one.
We have seen
Darlene finds a second before the bomb goes
Yeah,
down.
we've seen those two do a lot of work in these gunfights. It is now a 3v4 in the favor of NMSU, and just like that, Haru's turning around. Can she get two? All right, a bit of a blind now.
And Bewilder's just staring backwards. And I mean, that's what I've been talking about this whole time. They're not watching the angles they need to.
Cage triggered.
Really just tossing down everything there. And now Western Wings is going back to the A site, hoping to see if they can just massacre NMSU on this corner as they push out. There's the dog.
They know where Darlene is.
Yep. Again, it's watching the corners of where those utils
Hold
are
on
coming
comes
from.
through. They don't hear a Puppet, but now the bomb is in those final seconds. Darlene finds one, but it's not going to be enough.
And there's your cutoff. Round's over. Yep.
Pookie is going to die before finding Ms. Icy.
All right, though, Haru held on. And again, that is better for the economy that NMSU wants, but it's not going to be quite what you need.
They're back on it.
Yes, it's not.
Are they forcing? They are actually going to force this.
It's kind of a what other sort of options do you really have?
Well, so no. So this is actually really smart from them.
Yeah.
Because if they save now, they buy next, and then they risk being on a save for round 12.
Yes.
But if they force now, they're on a save next round, and then they can
Yes.
buy round 12.
Yeah, because
So
that
they're
round 12
actually
is going to be
forcing. They're
crucial.
forcing their econ for a round 12 scenario.
Yeah, because that round 12 is going to be crucial when we get to the halfway point, as I like to call it. All right, here we go. We are moving back to A site. Like we said, they are not at all afraid of repeating their
Yep.
successes.
And the hole's not there this time, so it's just going to be Western getting a free
Running
side
in.
calm down. Stunned and dead. And
Barely taking
Haru
damage.
finds one.
Nice cover fire.
Playboy finds one. Not going to find a second. Round 10.
Does go to the Western Wings. Round 11 likely going to go to the same because of how they influenced their economy last round, but that was part of the plan.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of that's actually probably what they planned out in this timeout. So they are hoping to probably use round 12 and 13 to make their big play. See if they can edge out that 9-3 split.
Yeah. I mean, if Western wins this, they've got the econ. If they don't win this, they've still got the money to continue.
Yeah, they still
buying
do.
Into rounds
they still have the
11
econ.
and 12. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be a matter of can Western get put on an econ, but rather can MSU
Survive.
win with guns.
Yeah.
Which they've done once, but they have not managed to do a second time.
Here comes dog from Pookie. Oh, spot
Finds bot, does not find player though.
Yep, not quite.
And now rotating back. I think they want this A side push. Puppet needs to find Miz. Icy here. Haru up into ropes. It's going to be an amazing collapse from these two players. Absolutely fantastic crossfire.
Cage trigger.
They don't see Thwippy.
Oh!
Does find Puppet.
Nice trade.
Barely getting that rocket launcher off in time.
It's actually kind of a bad trade, to be honest.
It is.
Yeah,
not
I was
the
like,
trade you're looking for.
yeah, I was like, the fact you have to dedicate that resource to taking out one other player as you also die.
Now Sheriff and Ghost in hand for these last two players. They've got to play together.
You got to peek this corner. Nope.
One down with Ghost and Venus finds one. Playboy has Sheriff.
Again, probably
comes through. The swing comes through.
Probably the round NMSU was looking for anyways. This is probably anticipated. It's just a matter of there's only 3 rounds left before Western Wings can take the whole game.
Last round, they've got the money to buy up here. They just need one more to make this round even potentially viable for a defensive win or offensive win. Yeah. But I mean, Kalesi is 13 and 5. I mean, all of these players besides Pookie has more than 10 kills. They're looking phenomenal. They were raring to go.
Again, it's hard to even call an MVP. Almost every player on the Western Wings could be considered their own MVP because of just how dominant they have been this entire game.
They just have a...
The synergy is on a whole nother level there at Western Wings.
Blind comes through, but no push off of it.
NMSU, this is nearing in on their opportunity to clutch up with what has worked in the past to try and maybe salvage this.
Yol comes through. Thwippy doesn't get hit by it. A great trigger discipline. Thwippy.
And just as you speak.
It was a great trigger discipline, but the aim was not there. The discipline after.
Yeah.
Oh, the Boombot barely finds Bewilder.
Well, she's going to have to anticipate where they're coming. I say now we're the 2. Okay, begin to back up. Nope, not enough. All right.
Darlene finds one. Does not find a second.
Finding 2. And finding 2 was very important there.
Yeah, 11-1 going into the second half. It's not great. I mean, it's basically, instead of Western only needing to win the pistol, they need to win the pistol and the buy.
Yeah.
So, the new
Pookie,
VCT 24 skins.
Pookie, the just chilling, the lowest kills on her team. But I'm saying only to point out, still one below the highest killing member of NMSU. It is just a big pick difference right now. That is just tearing up the econ.
Yeah.
I was like, it's tearing up the econ.
That is the brutal truth behind this matchup right here.
Because NMSU has the pieces to try and salvage this for at least a few more rounds. It's just a matter of getting those pieces in the right place.
They don't have a chance.
The voice line.
That is a very ironic voice line for the situation that we are in right now. That is maybe the game calling the truth behind what is happening on your screen.
All right, NMSU holding on.
Celestia has 1 HP. It finds a kill before dying. Actually, doesn't
be
even
going
die.
down. Oh no.
Satchel out.
And NMSU on offense, it's gonna have their opportunity to make some
Blind
big pushes.
comes through. I think Venus actually avoided that. Oh, great.
Double kill from Haru.
The Killjoy bot not finding the down part of
Nice.
the box.
A nice shot from Darlene as always, but in the 4v1 is just too tough.
And it is looking like we may see a 13-1 here in map 2 of the NMSU Turquoise versus the Western Wings.
Yeah, I was like, it could be a 12-2. This is, like I said, if any time is NMSU's opportunity to take a round, it would be about now.
Yeah, they're actually gonna force up, make this round at least somewhat viable.
Got to make it count. And well, again, because now switching to offense, you would think this is where your opportunity to try and throw Western Wings off guard, but it's just been really hard to do that. Because we've seen them try and do what they can to just maneuver around Western Wings plays now, but Western Wings has been adapting like nobody's business. Nice, just throwing in all the util you can right now, but Celestia shooting.
One.
Yeah.
Continue spraying. That puts Bewilder on like 2 HP.
Yeah,
gonna get healed up though.
Yeah, Celestia and Haru both spraying through that smoke made this site suddenly look way less viable. But I don't really think you have the time or resource to switch to A at this point.
Oh, Venus is gonna go
might try.
and push flank, and now it is just gonna be these NMSU players trying to escape the clamp that Western Wings is putting on them right now.
Yeah.
The dog goes out, finds 1, maybe 2
I
players
think 2.
there. The Dash may have discovered a second.
Yeah. All right.
And Bewilder is still on this B site, finally going to rotate off.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's 5v4.
Western Wings is caught on, yeah.
Now it's a 3v3 on site.
I don't know. We've seen Darlene put up some pretty strong kills before. She might be able to even this out for her team.
There goes.
Yeah.
And with Maz getting a
wildly
long Spectre kill.
Wow, focused on the team ace.
Yep. Not finding the 3rd map on Ascent. NMSU only taking 1 this game.
Yeah, I say honestly, it's still a pretty well fought match considering like what had happened game 1. It would be pretty easy for me to get discouraged in that situation. I don't think they did. I think they still tried absolutely putting their best out. Yeah. Still picking around, still taking some picks, a lot more than the first round. So I mean, like I said, we saw the improvement. They just needed to take a little bit more advantage of what Western Wings was leaving open.
Yep. So with that win, that will put Western at 6-1, now tied with Waterloo after losing to North Texas. NMSU 1-6.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the first team to reach that record, but looking for a round 8 comeback tomorrow.
Yeah.
And speaking of more games, we've got more streams coming up in the next week. We've still got 5 more weeks of gameplay ready for you. Tomorrow we see NMSU come back to play UCSD. Waterloo comes back on next Thursday to play Cal Esports, who just took a W against TMU.
Yep.
And then next Friday, the 1st. Oh my goodness, we're almost at March. Ugh, this month has flown by.
Yeah, I feel you because I had something important early March, and I was like, it's okay. It's only the 23rd. Oh no, it's February.
Yeah, and then I'm seeing a lot of NMSU recently.
Yeah,
I do think I do like to watch them play. I think they could definitely make a run here.
Yeah,
in these final weeks to bring this back.
We're seeing their arc of growth again, even against a team as dominant as what we just saw.
Yeah,
they were still able to kind of hold on, clutch some good plays.
Yep. But I think with that, we'll pretty much round it out. Once again, like to thank Rockstar, who is sponsoring this entire tournament. $5,000 prize pool to the winning team, right into the players' pockets.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we'll pretty much close it out. That has been round 7, week 4 of Valorant. I have been Evan Kettler.
I've been Micah, and y'all have a great night.
Thank you, guys.